you know, my mind, you know, my ADHD, I'm capable of doing this shit right now. I'm driving, and I'm hearing his lyrics and Pac's voice. And I'm like, I might be on to something, right? Like, this could be wild interesting.
Yeah, what's up, world? We just having a conversation. You know how we do here at Hip Hop Closet. So I came today and knowing that I wasn't going to win the sneaker battle, right? So we have a little, you know what I mean, a little thing between the three of us about these kick game, right? And truth be told, I knew I rocked the regular ones, you know what I'm saying, the patent leather joints, but y'all saw those before, so I was like, I ain't gonna win. And then Kai, when I talked to Kai, she said the same thing, but I want to show my brother, and part of the reason I want to show him, because I feel like he won the kick war today, because his name is on the kicks, but also 50,000 runners ran the New York City Marathon this past Sunday, and Jason was one of them. We want to give him his credit. I want him to pull the applause for himself, right? Because he finished his second New York Marathon, his third overall, right? 3 overall, 2 New York, 1 Chicago. And I want y'all to see the medals. Sometimes you got to show people the medals so that they understand the accomplishment. Plus, he got on his shirt. I hope he washed it from Sunday. The kick game is good. I feel like he won. I'm gonna give it to him.
We can't see him though.
That's all right.
You can see the medal. We can't see the kicks. Like.
How you feel? You good?
You know. Yeah, I feel good. So
covered?
You can see. So these are the Sabrinas, right? So I went with New York because every city I'm doing, they got their own kicks. So I went to New York with the Knicks colorway. So Sabrina Liberty, Knicks colorway.
Yeah.
It matches up perfectly with the theme for the marathon this year. So,
yeah. Yeah, I like the orange piece that the marathon. It always was blue and shades of blue with a little accent of orange, but they brought the orange out big this year, and I really like that. I'm feeling that. I can't wait to get some love next year when I'm back in the game. But you good though?
Yeah, I'm good. I feel good. It was a good run. It's tough, but I appreciate everybody who came out on the course. So y'all out there giving love. Like
you ain't even really stopped for us though.
Nah, I didn't, cause I was kind of like
he was like, yo, what up? Like
I was moving, like you know, it was like
something funny. I was trapped in Bed-Stuy, right? Cause look, my actual birthday was on the 4th.
Right.
Right. So
on the Saturday.
Right.
Right.
You understand? So what the marathon was
Sunday.
Was Sunday, right? So I'm in Bed-Stuy with the homies and whatnot. I break day crash, wake up there, and I'm trying to leave, and I can't leave.
Nah, you couldn't
because I'm too close to Bedford Avenue, and I can't, like, I was trapped, because of y'all niggas. Because of y'all niggas. Yeah.
Probably because of me, I was in the back, so he was like, yo, you gotta wait for him to come through.
Nah, I love though, bro.
Yeah, nah, it's good. I'm ready to, so next is LA.
Okay.
So, and then after that, Boston, and then we'll keep going, so.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's not stop.
Yeah, but you know, y'all got the kicks and the shirts is popping too, so we gotta talk about that.
How was your weekend, Kai? You was with us on Sunday, so look, we go outside, so we on Lafayette and Grand. When I'm not running the race, we are partaking in the festivities. We bring the kids out there and shit. It's tequila popping. It's a good time, right, Kai? It's a great time.
It's exhausting work.
Shout to Kevin Bridge. Shout to Fee, who was out there. Felicia Thomas, my sister. It was really fun. I really had a fun. And it was nice weather. It was very nice. It was very nice out.
That it was.
It's very nice out. So we about to get started on this, and you know, we had the brother Steele 2 weeks ago. We had Halloween last Tuesday, so we didn't do anything last Tuesday. We got this brother today that I'm gonna introduce properly. And then we have something good for you guys next Tuesday, and then the Tuesday after that we got Tech. So we've been doing our boot camp click, honoring these brothers and the work that they've done in this culture. But it's been like stagnated because, like I said, we had the Tuesday off for Halloween. The next Tuesday we got something special for you, and then the following Tuesday we'll continue it. So last week, 2 weeks ago, if you was with us during the Steele interview, we spoke about how relatable boot camp click was for dudes that was age appropriate in the 90s. I'm 48. I think you and I are the same age, or if not, you know what I'm saying, just a little. You just turned 49, right? 50. Okay, so you just turned 50. So coming up during that time, you know, rocking with y'all, you guys were like, being from Brooklyn, you guys were very relatable to us. And I spoke about, even during back in the day, and I'm going to talk to you about this, at SUNY New Paltz. I opened for y'all at SUNY New Paltz, and I spoke about how Ruck was dissing me when he got on stage. This nigga went off. You know, he used to do that shit with his hands while he was freestyling. Went off on me, right? But I loved Helter Skelter, and I remember, I'm going to tell you how much I loved y'all. Yeah, real talk. So I'm going to tell you how much I loved y'all. Nocturnal came out around my birthday. My birthday's June 8th. Mm-hmm. Y'all came out like if not that weekend, the weekend after. Yeah. In 96. And the reason why I remember is because me and my crew, we used to like be, I had an apartment at 21, right? And we would be in my apartment playing like Live 95 and shit. Mm-hmm. And when Nocturnal came out, we listened to it in its entirety for the first time together. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, right. Yeah. And I want to kind of get into a sonic conversation with you, but I'm still, you know, let me just, once we finish the introduction, I will. But for me, Helter Skelter was like a continuance of the sound that Boot Camp Click had. So Into the Stage was very heavy on Roy Ayers. And then The Shining was more reggae, it was Buju, but it was also like Mandrill, it was also Roy Ayers, they also had Roy Ayers stuff. Mm-hmm. And then came Nocturnal, and there was songs on Nocturnal that was completely in the vibe of the Click, right? So being the third set of cats to come out of the crew, mm-hmm. you didn't disappoint me at 21 years old. Understand? Helter Skelter only means war. Come on. Mm-hmm. Place to Be is on my side. Like, these are songs that echoed positively back then. So right. I'm very excited to have you here, bro. I can't wait to have this conversation. I want to introduce to some. I want to present to others my brother Rock. Happy belated birthday, man.
Thank you,
Happy belated birthday, man.
Scorpio season, baby. Yeah. We live, we here, November 1st.
Season. We don't need no reason.
No, who's that? See?
I want to start at the very beginning, as I do with all the guests. Where were you born? Tell me where you.
I was born in Brooklyn.
Where?
Like, it was it's funny because the whole monster shit is crazy. Like, it's like the hospital I was born in don't exist no more.
What was it? The shit around Prospect Park on the west side?
Nah, it was by Pink Houses in Plaza.
Shit, what hospital was that?
It was called Interborough Hospital.
Oh, Interborough, right. Yes.
That shit is like an eyeglass place now.
Right.
Not an eyeglass place, but like a closed down like eye doctor type of some shit. Those are the last signs on it, but yeah, that shit going. Yeah, so that was where I was born. I lived in East New York for 2 months. Then crib got burned down. Was in transition for like 2 months, and then I moved to Brownsville.
Right.
At 4 months old, Cephalo Project.
Oh, so you from Cephalo, like still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sackman Street.
Tell me about your childhood. What type of child were you?
Oh, I was a good boy. Like I was a nerd. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had like I was one of those kids that they was giving tests for, advanced shit.
Like gifted and talented.
Yeah, like, and I was passing them shits. I didn't even want to pass them. Like, I literally tried to fail one and passed it, right, accidentally. I'm glad, real talk, right? But, so that was me as a kid. I just was, but I'm my mother's youngest child.
That's what I asked you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and, like, I got an older brother and an older sister. And an older brother's he was older brothering.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, but the twist was my sister. My sister, till this day, I think she was tougher than all of us. Right? Like, she was wow. Like, my brother was tough, my sister was wow. She was different. You know what I'm saying? But when you the youngest, you the victim.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, right. you don't get no respect in the crib. You understand what I'm saying? So the one twist on my nerdness was I was kind of pissed off. I was grumpy. Because, by the time I left out of my crib, I was,
you already had got all the pokes and the pinches
you understand what I'm saying? All
the little piece of chicken, so you went out with a vengeance. You were outside like...
Right, you understand what I'm saying? So I had a little bit of grumpiness to me always, but I was a good kid. It wasn't, it literally, shit is so funny to say this, but at 11 years old, right, was probably the first time I felt like the bite of a snake. right? And back then, that was a nigga snaking you was the equivalent of a nigga talking about you behind your back.
Right.
Now, to keep it 100, we all talk about everybody behind our back.
Right.
As
That's what
adults,
social
it's
media
just,
does.
I mean, but even without social media, it's just conversation. Like if you talk about, look, he all our man. We might need to have a talk to this nigga, but we might have to have a talk with each other first.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? To figure out what we're gonna do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's
right.
But as a kid, you can't talk about nobody behind your back, and that was it. So, like me and this dude stopped being friends, and it was that day. Like I was sitting outside my building, and I ran into a dude walked up on me who was the little brother of one of my older brother's good friends, and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I guess he could see it on me, and I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." He's like, "All right, come with me to the store." From that point on, I was hood. Like I was street like that. Like everything changed.
Just like that.
Right there. Like
Right.
the next day, he introduced me to the guys. Some of them I knew already. Some of them I didn't. But like they was from my building and from my and we was a bunch of kids doing dumb shit from that point on.
You know, one of the things that they say when they discuss about the psychology of young boys is that young boys crave hierarchy. And what that means is, as a young boy, we're always looking for who's the man, who's the niggas under the man, where do I fit in this organizational chart? So when you said that, it reminded me of that prospect. Like, once you were introduced to the organizational chart, immediately you look for your place in that. Like, well, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, he's wild, but he pussy, so I'm closer to the top than he is type shit. Right. That's what young boys crave. Young boys crave hierarchy. They talk about it in Lord of the Flies.
And it's like, and it's not only like, you don't even, like, young boys crave it, but grown ass men still recognize it. You understand what I'm saying? You may not crave it, but you recognize it when you walking into situations with other men. You understand what I'm saying? Like, out here in these, you understand? Like, it is what it is, right?
No, that's right. That's true.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
So from that point on, from 11 on, I started doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? By the time I was 14, I was in stolen cars and all kind of this, that, and the third, running around.
Where you went to high school?
I went to Lafayette High School first.
Oh, you went to Lafayette
First, until they got rid of me. And then I went to high school redirection in Brooklyn. And it's funny how going there, things got exponentially, like, that shit was a nightmare on paper. Like high school redirection. Like this shit was not like you didn't want to go there.
You don't want to be there.
That's not where you want to go, right? But I went there and it was the best thing for me. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, I ended up with, the friends I made there was exponentially worse than the friends that I already had. I mean, on some street shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they were good friends. You know what I'm saying? They was cool dudes and all of that shit. They never did me wrong. But, the dirt that I was doing kind of got stupider. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And we came up in a time in the 80s, people don't give enough credence or enough conversation about how chaotic the 80s were. Like, and but to juxtapose that, as chaotic as the 80s were, we lived in a time where we were latchkey kids. So like, for example, my moms and my pops, they worked. So there was mad times, junior high school, I was coming home
fending for yourself.
And I was cooking dinner for my little sisters at 13 years old. Mom's come in the crib, 8 o'clock, she'll leave something, throw it out, and she know I'm gonna cook it. I'm 13 years old. I got an 8-year-old right now. Ain't no way at 13 she gonna be cooking for a little brother. Right? So at the same time where we was living in chaos, thousands of people getting killed in New York City. I think the number in '88 was something like 2,600 people got killed in New York City. Last year, less than 700 people got killed in the city. Right? So we were in a time where, like, it was crazy, but we also had the world to ourselves. Like, so for you, at that age, 13, 14, you talking, so you're 50 now, so 13, 14 for you was like 86, 87. That's the crack era, bro. That's the height of the crack era.
As soon as crack came out, soon as the crack ones came out, right? You know what I'm saying?
The ones, right? The ones. The first batch, when niggas was dying off the batches.
niggas came and got two of my homeboys, right? The big, drug dealer niggas.
Yeah.
It was two of my homeboys who I didn't. As a kid, you think they got it better than everybody because they could stay out later than everybody and do whatever they want.
Right.
But in retrospect, you see they had it worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those two was the first two niggas that got scooped up by drug dealers. You understand what I'm saying? And started, doing that hustle and all of that. I could not there was no way I could get away with that because my mom's was like, that was another part of my frustration. Like she was on my back. I didn't get no freedom. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and my mom's didn't work. You understand? So it wasn't like it wasn't. But
you ain't have like free time in the crib. She was in the crib.
Right. And I had to get out the crib.
Right.
And I didn't have all of these the same curfew all my friends had and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to. I couldn't stay out late. I couldn't even go out that early. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's summertime. I don't care what your friends doing outside right now. You ain't leaving out of here till about 1, 2 o'clock.
That's a very old Brooklyn statement. I don't care what your friends is doing.
You understand what I'm saying?
I lived with that.
Like, I don't give a fuck what they doing. Right. You ain't go, and then, so that, my whole life, the curfew was my biggest issue with my mom's. You know
Where's your mother from?
My mom's is from, I think she was originally from the Bronx, but she's from Brooklyn and Bronx.
Right. So not down south, not Caribbean. She's from right here.
Nah, she's from right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, just that hustle. To make it long story short, there's no way I was getting away with that.
Right.
Like these niggas is doing it in the projects. You mean I gotta stand here every day?
Right.
In the same place?
All day.
Are you crazy? How am I supposed to get that pass? And what are your hours? Nah. So that was not gonna work for me. But two of my mans, they was part of the crack ones. Like they was out there. You understand? Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah.
When did you meet Steel?
I met Steel. Were the crack ones out already? Yeah, they was out already. I met Steel when I was about 14. Like the funniest thing about me and Steel are the only ones. Steel is the only one in boot camp that I met because of rap.
Word?
Yeah, I would say that because we lived in the same projects.
That's why I asked you.
But it was an ill dynamic in my projects where like it's 4 buildings and 3 of them are on one side together, and my building is by itself. And they didn't really fuck with us like that over there. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we was the step kids of the projects, right? But Still had an uncle, rest in peace. He was an older dude, but he wasn't that old, like our parents' age. He was like his mom's and them younger brother. So he was running around the hood, and he, it was back then only like 3 niggas in the project rhymed. You know what I'm saying? And Still uncle saw me and heard me, and he was like, "Yo, you should meet my nephew." And he facilitated that.
Wow.
And that was that.
When'd you start rhyming?
When I was 11.
That's all. So, all right, let me ask it differently. When did you start writing rhymes, and then when did you start letting people hear your rhymes?
I wrote my first rap when I was 11. When I was 11, that was the only rap I had for that year.
Right.
I let everybody hear that shit.
Right. Tight.
Yeah, I practiced that shit. You understand what I'm saying? All that. So it's the only rap I had. I knew that shit good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you know it.
Right.
You know
that shit.
Yeah, a lot of times, like I got raps I writ, like, you know what I'm saying, like so many like songs I love. I would be nervous if I had to perform it today because I don't know it that well. I don't give a fuck how much I love it. I got a million of them now. You understand? This was the first one.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I knew that shit back and forth. Then I was 12. Then when I was 12, I wrote another rhyme. And I had those 2 rhymes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So delivery became my strong suit.
Yeah.
From the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I always, till this day, I prefer to write not in the studio, even though I love what I get when I write in the studio.
Right.
Because pressure situations, like, it forces me to step outside my box a little bit, pause, and I like what I get when I do that, right? But I prefer to write all of this shit I write throughout the day. Like I was sitting in the, I got over here. I got in this area an hour ago. I was parked up, sitting down, right.
Just going in.
You understand what I'm saying? Like I like to do that shit, or you know what I'm saying, when they come to me or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, like when it's because when I do it like that, I have time to practice it before I get in the studio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know, and I ain't sitting in there talking about bring it back 100 times and shit, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So yeah, in the beginning, like so delivery.
I hated writing in the studio too. I get you.
Yeah, delivery was always, it by default became one of my strong suits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was 11 and 12 years old. It wasn't like I was spitting nothing amazing and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the way I
you
spit
knew how to
it,
deliver that.
right. Right. And then when I was 13, I started writing verses.
Really writing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. So I ain't never told nobody this. So Young MC, I'm like 12, 13 years old. Young MC has an album. I buy the album. Like at B Street, remember when B Street used to have that box of tapes that you could buy for like 99 cents? $1.99.
Yes.
Like they was mad cheaper than the shit on the wall.
Right.
So I went to B Street one time and
Like a clearance rack.
Right, like a clearance rack.
Yeah.
And Young MC shit was in the thing, and he had a video that I liked, so I bought the tape for like 99 cents. And I listened to the album backwards and forwards. I always was like a student of hip hop. I wanted to rhyme, but I hadn't written a rhyme yet. There was a rhyme that Young MC had, I can't remember it now, but I remember he talked about Greg Louganis in the rhyme. Remember Greg Louganis, the diver that busts his head,
yeah.
right? So I went outside, Rob, and I started doing this verse. And the hood was like, oh, you nice. Yo, do that shit again? Yo, and I knew that shit. I knew that verse. Never wrote around the first. Was doing Young MC shit, straight wildin' outside, But people was like, yo, nah, son, y'all got taking me to other blocks. Nah, y'all gotta hear this nigga. And nobody in Brooklyn ever heard this Young MC verse before. Nobody was listening to Young MC. So I was winning. At like 13, I was winning, bro. This shit reminded me of that. I was wild. Yo, I'm sorry. Anybody that took me on Dean Street or St. Mark's Avenue, I'm sorry. I was plagiarized.
Fact check. You did tell us this.
I told you before?
You told us when we had chip food here.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Man, you'd be surprised how many niggas got stories like
yo.
Look. I'm gonna give y'all a jewel right here. The nigga Ruck, a long time ago, he was locked up. He told me he went through the system, and the leaders of the new school was just out, right, or whatever. Like I don't know how long he spent, you know, in this go around, but niggas was rapping. Niggas had never heard Busta Rhymes. This shit was new. Right?
Yeah, brand new out the box.
It's brand new. Niggas in the cypher rhyme, he hit these niggas with the as I combine. Like, I don't know, maybe he ran out of raps or something, like, in the cypher. He hit niggas with that, and he shut the cypher down.
Right, niggas like, nah, you nice. You
won.
should be on.
You won. Like, mad niggas got stories like that.
Yo,
I promise you.
Let me ask you, before rap, what you wanted to be?
An actor.
You wanted to be an actor.
I had my aunt and my mom's always telling me they was pushing hard for some lawyer doc, because I was the kid with the good grades.
Right.
They thought I was gonna be this whole other nigga, right? You understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
And it was like I wanted to be in my mind, you know who I was? I was Arnold from Different Strokes.
Oh yeah, he was wild.
No, I was because that was my dynamic. I had an older brother and an older sister. I got a sister who got whatever she wanted. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she was grimy. I mean, my sister was. It's a whole nother interview right there. But right, I had that. I had a single parent. It was a mother, but not. It wasn't
It wasn't Mr.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but it was a single parent.
Wasn't rich, but. It just that dynamic I was able to relate to, you know what I'm saying? And I had that when I was young. Like, I just posted a picture on Instagram like a few days ago where it was a picture of me and my older brother, right? And it showed a size difference from when we were younger. Like, I was like, it looked like he's this height, the same height he is now, but I'm mad little, right? Mind you, I was already still the tallest nigga in my class, all the time, but I was mad little to this nigga, right? That was Willis.
What's the age difference?
3 years.
Oh yeah, he's not really that much older than you.
But when we were small, when you think about it, when
14 and 11 is different.
That's different.
Yeah,
the 4 and 7, different.
Yeah, 17 and 14, that's different.
Right. You understand? So the ADHD. It's a real thing, people. I promise you. Like, don't let nobody tell you nothing.
You talking about the similarities between your family and different strokes?
Oh yeah, thank you, my man, the real MVP, right? So I looked at that shit like, and so I saw Arnold Drummond as me. I even had the same afro with the same part.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that wasn't even my doing. Like I had no choice in my fucking hairdo at the time. At that, you know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing I wanted to be. And you know, like I participated in school plays and all of that. I played. Who did I play? I played George Jefferson in one play. Sure did. Then I played Ed Norton in another one.
Ed Norton from The Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners.
I can see it.
I will go on my phone and show you the nigga who played Ralph Cramden, and he still looked like Ralph Cramden to this day. I promise you, it was hilarious.
So you was like always in a creative mindset.
Yeah, I mean I didn't know it, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I couldn't. But again, it was like certain shit came easy to me. Like as far as all of the academic shit, that shit was all wild easy until I got to junior high school and high school. All of a sudden I came back down to earth somehow, right? You know what I mean? But when I was young, all of that shit was wild easy. So I just daydreamed a lot. You know what I'm saying? I just got to see myself in these other spaces or whatever. You know what I mean? These relatable spaces.
Tell me when you realized you was nice lyrically.
When I started writing verses.
Straight off at 11.
Straight off, I thought I was nicer than I was, right? But I was nice for a 13-year-old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a lot of niggas rapping back then. Like, you know, if you was like, it was, when I met Still, it was me, him, and another nigga named Wise that really rapped in our project.
Right.
Right? Like, we had niggas that played around with, maybe like one or two of my other homies, like from my building, no. One of them actually, he rapped a little. My man Gunn, salute to him, right? He rapped. We used to beatbox before we rapped. We used to beatbox together and all of that bullshit, right? But it was different back then. Everybody wasn't rapping. So when you was the nigga rapping, you was probably the only nigga in the space.
In your square.
Right. So it's like, yeah, you that nigga.
You're
like
him.
it wasn't nobody to compare it to. So even if I wasn't nice, I thought I was that nigga.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When the first time you met Sean P?
Shit, before I rapped. Me and Ruck, our mothers was friends.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I actually knew his younger brother first because his younger, like, we were both our mother's babies, which made us closer to our mothers. Right. I met Stuck B when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, that's his younger brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so when I was 9 years old, like, I remember his mother asking, like, my actual age or whatever, and I told her, she was like, oh, you actually closer to my other son's age. Right? I remember that. And Ruck's 11th birthday party, I was present. It was a surprise party, and that was when I met him. That nigga had a job at 11.
Fuck out of here.
That nigga came in, and the real, not no paper route punk shit either. Like, this nigga
had a real
not
job.
to disrespect paper routes or whatever. This
nigga was wearing overalls.
This nigga came, it looked like a building fell on this nigga. This nigga came in dirty and shit. Probably all kind of asbestos and shit. Who the fuck, like, this nigga came in from work.
Right.
And yeah.
Right. This is crazy to me, right? Because I'm still, part of me is still like a fan of y'all. So to hear how far back you guys go is like almost endearing. It's like dope. That's awesome that you guys knew each other for so long.
What's crazy is, me and Ruck that's when I met him, we wasn't close.
Y'all wasn't close.
Right. Him and Steele knew each other before that.
Yeah, I think Steele said that.
Like, them niggas used to go to some fucking community center shit together, you know what I'm saying, across the street from Ruck Block. And Steele grandmoms, I believe, lived in Ruck Projects or whatever, too. So, and then they both ended up in high school together. They went to the same high school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like, I used to just see Ruck on the way to school, to high school.
Right.
Like, we went to junior high school together. He was there, but when we got to high school, like, I would see him on the train. This nigga would literally sit, he would stand up every day. He got on the train to stop after me. He would get on it, he would literally crack jokes on anybody he could see. If you was in his fucking line of sight, you got joked on.
Right.
Except me, for some reason.
Right.
I always said it was a good thing that I ain't go to their high school. because if I would have if me and Ruck would have became friends earlier, we wouldn't have been friends.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the universe put us together at the right time.
At the right time.
Yeah.
So you leave high school.
Because I couldn't take no jokes.
Right.
Like if you joked on me, I wanted to fight you. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I deal with this shit from my brother and sister.
Yeah, that's that little brother syndrome.
Nah, you understand
That's
what I'm
that
saying?
little brother shit. So you leave high school, redirection. You get your GED, or you actually
a diploma.
You get a diploma. Now what? Because now you in the late '80s, early '90s. This is right before hip hop really, for you, really started moving. So what was you doing?
Dirt.
Right. Okay. Right. Now said.
Dirt. Like, but what it was like, in redirection, like, the staff in that school was so supportive of of me. Like I said, like I ran into a whole nother set of goonies that made the dirt I was doing exponentially stupider. But at the same time, the system that they had going in that school was ideal for me, right? Like it was a smaller school, less kids or whatever, and they got to pay more attention to you. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't left to your own devices and shit so much. But I had a writing class where the writing teacher, where the teacher was like, yo, he's like, my man, like, you rap. Write them shits, you put them in correct English, I'll give you points for it. What? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was set up to win there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's kind of that's the secret success story of alternative high schools.
Right.
We had a sister here, she was cool with Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat went to City As.
Mm-hmm.
Went to alternative high
Crazy.
School. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was kind of like if you thought differently, if your thought process was different, alternative high schools were there to kind of capture that. And that seems like what they did, what they did with you.
And so, like, I had this teacher, right? She was young. She was like 26 or something back then, right? She was older than us, but she looked like us, right? There was a point where I got locked up. I did 6 months. I was right across the street.
Yeah, Kyle was telling me. He was right here.
Right. She's crazy. I asked her, I'm like, where is that fucking building? I was like, I know it. Right? But when I came back, because I was still in I came back and I was, I finished out that semester, right? And when I got, I didn't graduate with my class, right? I graduated like, in the next half semester or whatever, right? But this teacher of mine, when I got locked up, she wanted to come to court for me. And this wasn't even the 6 month shit. This was after I got remanded on some other shit, right? She came to court. No, she wanted to come to court, but just foresight said, I look too young. This don't even look right. She went and got the assistant principal to go, who was an older white lady. She looked like the lady, what's that white lady that be bombing on white people all the time? You understand? Like all white people should aspire to be like this woman. I promise you, right? Like she's a short white hair older lady, and she be bombing on white people, right? She be like, listen.
Oh yes, with the glasses.
Right.
Yes,
right.
She be wilding. I know what you're talking about.
My assistant principal looked like her, and she came to court and wilded on the judge for me.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. You're not, because the judge was wilding on me for no fucking reason. Like, I got remanded for coming to court late, right? She came, and I go back to court, and the judge is talking to me and about me like I'm one of these regular niggas, right? And she all but cursed this bitch out, right? You understand what I'm saying? She like, listen, it's RCT, remember RCT week?
No, what's RCT?
RCT was like a week of testing in schools out here, right? Like, it was like in the middle of the year. She was like, listen, I'm an assistant principal at a high school, and it's RCT week, and I'm here with you. This ain't no regular kid. You understand? You ain't up there. Like, I had that kind of support.
That support.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, when I was getting ready, when I was getting out of high school, right? Because needless to say, I went home that day, right? But when I was about to get out of high school, like I had my diploma or about to get it, my teacher, the one who looked young, she sat on the desk, right? She sat on my desk and was like, give me one reason why I shouldn't make you fill this out. Bam, and it was a college application. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, why I shouldn't make you fill it? And I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What had happened was, right, you know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter was they all knew I was rapping. Right. Like I had already rapped at the school talent show. I brung Steel to the show. I brung it. Like
so by senior year, you was already.
But I wasn't on yet. Right. Like they just knew what I was. They knew what I was up to, and they knew I was dead ass. You know what I'm saying? So I told her what I told her. I'm like, and this is like, Black Moon is already out. You understand what I'm saying? Black Moon is already out. So I'm like, listen, I got a shot right here. Like this is happening. This, and this. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna make a deal with you. Like 6 months. I know you don't want to go right back to school right now. So you take 6 months. You know what I'm saying? If nothing happens, then you'll go. If something does happen, then the rest is self-explanatory. And
Right. When'd you meet Bob?
When I came home from that 6 months.
From that 6 months.
Let me tell you, I didn't even look. I love telling this story too. I think I might have told this story on stage at my party the other day.
You might have. You don't even remember.
I think somebody told me, look, the niggas still, like I told you when me and Son met, right? I met Tech shortly after that, right? Tech used to come around the way, hang out with us, so on and so forth, whatever. But every once in a while, still used to go off on these secret missions with his secret friends, right? I didn't know who these niggas. I'm just like, where you go? I want to go.
Right. Where you going?
Where you going, nigga? You never take nobody.
Right.
Every once in a while, when he would come back to the block, though, 5 feet accelerator would be with him because 5 has family in our projects and still building. So that was how I met 5.
Right.
So I mean, I've known him since before he was running with Steel.
Right. Because he had family in the building.
Right. So when I'm locked up during that little 6-month period, I'm the youngest nigga in my dorm, right? And I somehow convinced these niggas to let me get Friday on the TV when these older niggas was watching soap operas. You know, I don't know if niggas know about jail niggas and soap operas. It's a serious thing, my nigga. Like, well, it was. I don't know, but so I convinced these niggas to let me get, you know, a slot time on the TV or whatever. And I'm watching a video one day after I'm watching videos one day. Who Got the Props come on? Like, Who Got the Props used to come on all the time.
On Video Music Box, all the time.
Right, yeah. Video Music Box, flavor videos, whichever one of them shits I was watching, all the time, right? After you see a video a certain amount of times, you know, it's on now, you start noticing the things that ain't in the front.
Right.
Start looking at the back, you know, the players in the back, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I noticed 5 in the video. And I say, that's still secret friends.
That's a secret crew.
These is the secret friends. And in that moment, I said, the next thing I said to myself was, I'm on. Like, I just knew it, right? And I remember I told somebody that story. It was like, how did you, I'm like I became, like, I don't even think I told niggas. Like, and mind you, the whole house I was in everybody was cool. It wasn't no wow. I wasn't in fear for my life or no shit like that.
Right.
I mean, when I first got to that building, I was. Like, I was 19 years old. They took me upstairs and, you know, they moved us from Manhattan and brought us to this shit. 1:30 in the morning, we get to bed. They cut on the lights in the dorm on the 5th floor with all the high classification niggas. Like, I'm 19 years old. I'm not one of them.
Right.
These niggas muscles got muscles. Right. These niggas got scars going across their muscles. Right. I'm like, and you just cut the lights on these niggas.
Right, so now they mad as fuck.
And they extra ugly. Yeah. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Niggas was like, my nigga. I was terrified. I'm keeping it 100 with you, right? But that wasn't my issue no more. The next day they moved everybody out of that house. They broke up that house. Whatever. Another story. So I'm in a house where now I'm in a dorm where everybody work. We run the mess hall. Everybody is cool in this shit. So you know what I'm saying? That shit was smooth. But I still didn't tell everybody. I told like one nigga what I knew, what I learned
from watching.
It. I was like, yo,
that's some universal shit though. The fact that in your mind you was like, oh, I'm on.
I knew it
as soon as you saw it.
I was like, that was it. And then, like a couple of days later, or whatever, a week or later, so sometime later while I'm still there, like. It was one of those days that like I had a visit that day, and sometimes, you know, you can only get a certain amount of visits, right? So, you know, if all three of y'all are my friends separate from each other, if all three of y'all want to come see me, y'all gonna have to collaborate with each other, right? So it was a situation where people, my shorty was over here trying to get over here, somebody in my family was trying to get, and I ain't know who. At this point, I don't know.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Somebody, whatever. And I go downstairs on the VI floor, and the fucking door opens, and it's Tekken Steel.
Right.
That shit bust my head right there.
Nigga, shit sound like a fucking movie.
I was like, yo. And these niggas both had on Nervous Records t-shirts. I didn't even know what Nervous Records was, but I knew about Steel and his secret friends and all of that. So I'm like, oh,
this is what you do. Right. This is what you do.
Oh, nigga, right? I have weird eyes, right? They water a lot. They just do. Like they're sensitive and shit. But I don't know. I think that day I might have cried tears of joy.
When you saw it?
Yeah, I didn't. But I ain't never. I'm fucking gangster at this point. I don't know what tears of joy. I don't know. I don't know what that shit feel like. But but also my eyes water a lot.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck that was. But I know that was one of those moments and shit. Like that shit was crazy. Seeing my niggas walk through with their Nervous t-shirts on after what I just learned.
Right.
I'm like, oh God.
Right. So the thing is coming together while you locked up.
Right. Yeah.
You come home, you graduate.
Teacher gives me my ultimatum.
6 months.
5 months in, niggas take me on tour.
Right. So now you on tours. This is before you get signed.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So Black Moon had it for like 2 summers. Like who got the props? Fucking
I Got You Open.
How many
Got
MCs?
You Open. How many MCs?
I Got You Open was freezing when we shot that video.
What's the remix? Buck 'em Down remix.
Buck 'em Down, yeah.
Yo, they're killing it at this point. This is pre-consumerism hip-hop. There was a small window, 92, 93, 94, when it was Wu-Tang, it was Redman, and it was Black Moon. And this is that moment.
Right.
So now you out on tour. Now tell me about that.
Look, like at first it was crazy because like at first, you know, we was blue collar rap, right? So at first it was like, you know, niggas wasn't like niggas would take either me or Ruck for the first couple of shows.
Not both of y'all.
Not both.
Right.
That was scary too.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like we became, I don't know about, I can't speak for him, but I know having him there served as, it became a security blanket for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got your road dog there with you. You going, you know, but nah, you don't get that.
Right, right.
Nah, nigga, we can't afford that.
Right.
I don't know if they could afford that or not.
Or it's him by himself.
Right. And I remember, like, one of the first shows, like the first time they took me somewhere was to outside of New York was Delaware, and I didn't even get to rap on that show. Like we had whatever the time was, I didn't get to rap, and you know it was still an experience. That was the first time I signed an autograph, and I was bugging like how. Like I ain't even rap.
You ain't even rap.
Like
you signed an autograph.
Like what are we doing here, right? But I remember that. I remembered the person's name all the way up until about 5 years ago. Like I remembered. But it's over now. It's gone, right? But
where was it in Delaware? Was it Delaware State?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But after that, like a week or so, or like a week or two later, maybe a month, they took me on my first 4-city run. You know, and that was in the month of April. I remember.
What year is this? 94?
Probably 94, right? And Morgan State University was the first spot.
That was us. I love Morgan State. That was us. I open for y'all at that shit.
My nigga, right? You see this? Look, I look close. You see scars on my hand?
Yeah.
These scars was fresh that day. Like I had just burned my hand, my glove corner. It was another story, right?
Right.
My hand was wrapped up. Like it was wrapped up, all kind of gauzes, bands, and then there was a bandana on top of it. Right? A camouflage bandana. And these niggas tell me I gotta go out first.
Now, was this in the field?
Yeah, this was outside.
Right. This is Olive Morgan Day.
This was outside.
Facts.
Yep. And niggas is like, yo. I'm like, I can't show no fear. You know what I'm saying? I'm Big Rock and all of that. So, I ain't never been on stage rapping.
Yo, that's crazy.
For this many people in my life,
That's
right?
crazy.
Then when I walked out there, it started raining.
Yes, absolutely. This is crazy, man.
As soon as I got to the front of the stage, it started raining, and I was like, "Damn!" And I vocalized it. I said something about it. I'm like, you know, on some ain't this a bitch shit, and niggas was like, "Fuck that." Seeing umbrellas, cause they knew it was going to rain, right? They umbrellas come out from hit that, like niggas was with the shit, and I don't remember what I did, but I rapped.
Right.
And that's it. That's your first hit of a drug.
Right there. So look, let me give you some backstory. So we open for y'all, right? My crew. So when you at HBCU, so HBCUs in the 90s were very much incubators for hip hop.
Right.
Right? So anybody that was popping in hip hop would do an HBCU tour. It could be homecoming, it could be an off thing. This was Olive Morgan Day, which is like a spring thing. But what would happen is the cats at that college that was popping, because everybody was rapping at this point. We talking early 90s.
Right.
Nigga, if you had a crew, you had rappers in the crew. So dudes that was rapping would open up for the made acts.
Right.
And it was like that at Morgan, it was like that at Howard, it was like that at most colleges, right? So for us, you guys was like the big homies. Like we were honored to be able to open for you guys. But by the same token, the same crowd that you're talking about, this is a crowd that hears us a lot.
Right.
So I didn't have the same trepidations that you had. Like I'm rhyming and this chick's in the front that
you know.
Yeah, like that's the, you know what I mean?
Right, you comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
You rhyming for your block,
right? So that's why it's wild to hear you say like.
I was terrified.
Yeah, that's wild. When did you lose that?
When I tell you, like y'all can't see, like my hand was so ugly. We was gonna make it. So you remember back then?
How the fuck your hand up?
So it was this one day. Me and Louisville was coming in from wherever we was coming from, right? Pause. And the nigga, Louisville is from my building. Like Louisville's uncle is my day one nigga. He was from Louisville's uncle is my oldest and dearest friend. I met him when I was 4 years old in kindergarten, right? But he was also part of the guys when my man, you understand what I'm saying?
Outside.
Yeah, right. So Louisville, me and him was out somewhere. I think we was somewhere shopping for Timberlands and shit, right? And we got back to the building. We got off the elevator, and it was smoking the whole way. Right? And the nigga was like, "Yo," this nigga's like, "Yo." That's my word. I know my rest in peace, Mama Louie. He was like, I know my mom's better not have burned no shit. I'm like, and I'm like, son, don't dare talk about your mother like that. She get busy, right? Like we go in the, but the smoke and fire is coming from his crib.
Oh shit.
And we open the door. He stick his key in the door. Open the door. This is fucking smokehouse, right? It's a pot on the stove. Like the kitchen is right when you walk. It's a pot on the stove on fire. Right?
Shit.
Louisville's brother is in the crib, in the back room. He done this nigga done put some french fries on the stove, smoked the L, went to sleep.
And went to sleep with the shit burned.
This is, so he goes in the room, smacks the shit out of his brother, gets him up. Now, these niggas is in the crib, we all run in the crib acting like we ain't learned nothing about fire. Now, I don't really want to go in the crib, like I'm in the crib, but I don't really want to go by the fire.
Right.
I'm tall. I go near all of the smoke is at the top. You understand what I'm saying? I'm dying, right? The nigga, eventually, you know, after all of the running around, this, that, and the third, his brother comes up with a plan. And the funny thing is, I thought about the plan, but I was just too bitch ass to execute this plan. Like I'm just gonna say y'all niggas is 5 feet something. Right. Y'all not feeling what I'm feeling. You understand what I'm saying?
Smoke rises to the top.
Right. So I'm standing. I got the door open, like just trying to let the smoke out the crib, like some of this smoke. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Sometimes air is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Air is a bad thing, but you know we
can fuel the fire.
Right. We done all lost all our scruples at this point, right? I'm like, all right, it's a grease fire, so salt. This is my mind. Like it's a grease fire, so salt ain't gonna work. I mean, I'm like, water's not gonna work. I'm like, salt will work, but they keep the salt in the cabinet right over there by the fire. I'm not going over there.
Right, you're going to get the salt.
I don't want to go get the salt, right? So eventually his brother says to himself, his brother goes, because the pot has a long handle, right? And he grabs the handle. And he has, I see the play immediately. I'm like, I hold the door wide open.
Because he want to take it out to
the want to take it out to the exit. The whole exit, that shit is all cement. You dump that on the floor, it's going out.
Right.
That's it. You understand? And I don't know the scientific terms to explain that, but I just know that on my end. When you put this fire on the concrete,
it's not gonna burn the concrete.
This is it, right? So I'm holding the door open for son, and he got it. Fire up in front of me. And he get in the doorway, and the wind just hit it. And it just got me. It got him too, but it got me worse. And my whole glove caught on fire. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was bad. It was bad. I mean, like, just my hand, right? Like I remember I had on, I had a Carhartt vest on too, so it was like some, you know, burns on the vest or whatever. Like, but, like, if you look at the wounds, like the burn marks, I had on fingerless gloves. And you see a burn right here, you know how that space will be exposed.
Right, and
like
that right
the end of the finger, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like and this shit was gruesome. We was gonna make it the first album cover. We thought about it, but niggas was like, y'all niggas is tripping. He's like, y'all niggas is tripping.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you said about that trepidation. When did you lose that?
You never lose that.
I like that answer.
You don't, like.
You don't lose that.
Let me tell you how bad I am, how bad it is, right? Like, I go to, like, especially because since my nigga gone, like, I don't have that security blanket. Right. Like, all of my biggest records are HELTAH SKELTAH records. Right. You understand? Like, I don't really know if niggas know this new shit I did on my solo shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, it you know, record sales ain't the same or whatever. Like, everything different, so you don't really know, right? So, solo shows I go through them shits, I'll be dying for something to go wrong so I can cancel on you niggas. Right. Because I'm terrified.
Damn, I ain't think about that. So,
like, I go in the spot and niggas be like, yo, you can't smoke in here. Like, I'm looking at the way this shit is turned, looking like the crowd the club ain't filled up yet. I'm like, this shit gonna be bullshit. They said we can't smoke in here.
We out.
So I roll up. I'll be like, roll up. What they gonna do, kick us out? Damn. Right. I wish the fuck they would, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Right. So since Sean P died, you do a lot of solo joints.
I mean, we were both doing solo music, but I mean, we both.
But shows, you would still kind of like support one another.
Right, but like, I never got a lot. Like, I never did a whole like tour as Rockness Monster by itself. My dates be still spot dates and all of that, and I go. So it's like I don't build up that rhythm. Like when you get a certain rhythm, you get. Well, all of it's like starting from scratch when there's gaps in between the shows and shit. It do get a little bit better on the tour. You get
it's
a
like
couple.
Working out.
You get a couple of shows right. You get a couple of shows in, and it you know it dissipates some. But the nervousness is always there. Any artist will tell you that.
I love the nervous feeling.
I hate that shit.
I do, bro, because it makes me I want to like run into it. Like I love that shit. You know but what? I've never, and I'm saying this, I've never done what you've done. I've done what I've done, but I've never done what you've done, right? I've never been like it's always been. I I'm somebody new to the crowd. It's like, oh well, okay, who's that? Is all my hosting. I ain't talking about rapping. I ain't rhyming years, but hosting and being masters of ceremonies. That's a different vibe.
Right.
Because it's my job to quarterback this thing.
Right.
And so I enjoy that. But as a talent, given the landscape, given your history, given your catalog, I would think that there's certain things that you would lean into. Like, there's certain songs you got that you know if you throw them shits on, niggas is gonna wild out.
Yeah, that's true. But it don't change the fact
It don't change that feeling.
Like, cause especially as the eras change. Like, you going out, you performing for niggas, you don't even know, there's no way for you to know who's gonna be there.
Right.
Right? There's no way for you to know how well, like, promoters ain't promoting. Like, promoters want you to share the flyer. Like, they like, yo, make a video, make $1. Like, niggas always, and I have this gripe, well, people always, it's not really a gripe, but I have this asterisk on the idea that they appreciate and love hip hop more overseas than they do here. I don't know if that's true. Yes, the shows be more bumping and packed over there. Yes, maybe it's partially true. But I know one thing. A shitty promoter and an effective promoter will show you, like, the difference in between it, because shows, I've done plenty of shows in New York, and it's like, I mean, not New York, but in the States, and it's like I said, you get that nervous feeling, you're like, are people gonna come out? You know, sometimes the crowd be light as shit, you know what I'm saying, whatever this, that, and the third. But anytime promoters follow certain steps, like, we've done shows in the States, and I mean recently, where this shit was ram-packed. You can't tell me niggas in New York, you just ain't speaking to the people.
Right.
You want me to promote, you understand, or whatever it is they doing, like, but they not doing, like, when promoters go out to book blue collar artists, that's a little term me and Ruck used to have. Blue collar rappers and shit. You either a hip hop pure, like, you either love our shit, for real, or you playing with a finicky budget. Because it's blue collar. You ain't got enough money to go get Fab.
Right.
Or you understand what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
These quote unquote popping ass niggas, you don't got enough money to do that, right? That's why you here. Because if you a capitalist, you understand? You in this business to make money. You want the best chance on you. You know what I'm saying?
You want to get your money back.
Like, if you could get Jay-Z to perform, nigga, the fuck you would.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But you can't.
Right.
So you got Rockness Monster, right? So
no, that's real talk.
So with your limited budget, you can't pay for that spot on the radio,
right,
or whatever.
And because you can't do that, you just relying on your name. Like, you're relying. If I put Rockness on the flyer, I'm hoping that people. And promoters do that. I know that.
Every day in America.
What happens is they want to rely on you. Because I've done the same shit. The same shit. Let me tell you something. I had Grand Poobah on a Juneteenth event. I hired him to do a Juneteenth event this year. And we told, yo, Poobah, make a video for us. Because the people that I was working with really didn't have a following. Right? And even though it was on Fulton Street, we blocked off Fulton Street for this event. I wanted to ensure that people that love Poobah knew that he was going to be there. So as a promoter, sometimes you are looking to leverage the popularity of the talent that you hire.
I get that.
Real talk.
I understand that, right? What I'm saying is, in this era, in this day and age, you got people who, that's all they got.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's all they, and I'm not saying that use what you got. You understand? I get that, right? But as the artist going to perform, like, let's just say you want me to promote in Cali. Like, I got a show coming in Cali. You know how many old chicks I got in Cali that I might not be stalking my page. I don't.
Right. I don't want to promote. I don't want them to know I'm there. Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't want them there. You promote. They ain't following you. They following me. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want. No. Like, that's how niggas. That's how. Rest in peace to all of the artists that get caught. They get caught slipping because niggas know where you gonna be at. A nigga who watching you The nigga ain't watching the promoter.
Right. They don't know the promoter.
You understand what I'm saying? And I have to stress, like, with like the as far as budgeting goes, like, it costs to get a slot on the radio. You know, we talk about, you know, the internet space, you know, podcasting and all that is growing, it's outshining radio, but it's still something to say, something to be said about the grip that mainstream radio still has on the psyche of the public. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, we go and choose, like, you can go and find Rockness Monster any day in America, right? Doesn't it seem more poppin' though if Rockness Monster is playing on the main stage? When you hear that, you wasn't looking for it. You just, oh shit, this, like, it does something to you psychologically. So where the internet space and the podcast space is growing, that radio shit, mainstream media still has a certain, it still has a certain grip on the mind of the people. So when a promoter can just put a, you know, a slot on the radio,
right?
Those shows are usually better.
But that's because of the buy-in. The fact of the matter is there's still skepticism regarding a lot of things that happen on the internet. I know I'm a skeptic. I don't fucking believe all the shit that I see or read on the internet.
Right.
But there's a certain buy-in that the public has with terrestrial radio. If Charlemagne or DJ Envy or Ebro or Paul Rosenberg says that Rockness is going to be at a joint,
right,
there's a buy-in that
way
exists,
different.
And it's a way different thing.
It is.
Right? Versus Rock is on Hip Hop Closet. Yeah, we fuck with Hip Hop Closet, but we need to hear it from somebody who we look at. It's like that cool kid shit. Like, it's an aspirational thing. Oh, we fuck with
it's a
Breakfast
hierarchy.
Club. Right, it's a hierarchy.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like that shit is still like old money. You
It's
know what
old
I'm saying?
money. It's
like,
old money.
It's respected like the white coat.
I want to ask you this, because I don't want to, and I know it's 8, we got like another 15, 20, 30 minutes, but I wanted to get into this concept, because this is what I wanted to know. So, Black Moon is out, they popping. Smith & Wesson come out with the Shine and they popping. What, tell me.
Kind of always organic. Like, because, like, boot camp is nepotism at its finest. We didn't just go find it, you know. It wasn't just it wasn't just a combination of or a collection of the strongest MCs. It was just, it's a collection of a couple of niggas' favorite niggas. A couple of niggas' favorite humans.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I like
niggas who really loved each other. And it was like, like, I saw Louisville and I was like, when I saw this shit was happening, I was like, no, you're rapping. Let's go. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he had doodled around with it and all. I'm like, no. I saw Our Way Out. Right. And I loved Son. And
my man fuck with Son hard, Mentally. You know Mentally?
Yeah.
That's my
hell
nigga. Yeah, that's my nigga.
Yeah, like that was my nigga. And it's like, Luke, and we was really just moving pieces around, like to fit, to just to find the winning combination. Like, just, we was trying to, everybody was trying to find their lane. And truthfully speaking, like, it's a lot of niggas who probably would have been or could have or should have been boot camped that weren't, right? Like, and you know, you ask any member of OGC, they'll tell you, like, they were the last group formed, like Louisville or Top Dog, they were not rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, Top Dog fucked more with, he fucked with the reggae more, you understand what I'm saying? He played around with rapping a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? Louisville just played around a little. Now, I was always trying to get niggas to do what I do and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always saw a future in it, but when shit, you know, when I started seeing shit actually going down, I'm like, nah, nigga, sit down. You know, like we doing this. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we going, nigga, and I'm not leaving you here because, like I said, it was so many of us out there in, you know, in the streets together. Everybody didn't make it. Like, Louisville's natural crew. Like, OGC is not Louisville's natural crew. It's not his natural crew. His natural crew, I don't know if you know all of these names, but his natural crew would have been Little Rock from the Representatives, right? And my same homie Ike that I took, that was his name, the nigga who for 11 years old was wrong. Nothing. I come to the store. He had a younger brother, right? My nigga Popcorn, right? Those three, like those Little Rock and Popcorn were Louisville's natural crew. Strang had a different partner that me and Ruck made him fire. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, son. Like,
Y'all made the nigga fire his partner.
we sorry.
Yes, right. Throw that up. Right. Fuck that.
We sorry, MS, because MS was a good dude and we was wild boys.
Right.
And Strang was one of the wildest ones.
Right.
Right? And he wasn't that. And I'm like, Strang, you gonna get that boy hurt.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He not that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So we
J.O.D. with the applause.
so we made Strang fire his partner and shit.
Right.
Salute to him. I love him to this day, to my nigga, right? You know, Strang still worked with him after that and all of that. But anyway, right, what I was saying, bring me back.
We talking about how the whole thing.
Right, how we structured it.
Right, how you structured it, right.
It was all literally natural, like, because like I said, Black Moon was first. I didn't know them when they put out Who Got the Props. I didn't know Buck then. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, you was locked when you saw the shit.
I mean, I seen Who Got the Props before I went in.
Right.
Right? But I just didn't know that we're still secret friends. It just clicked on me when I was in.
Right.
Right? But all right, they were still secret friends, so of course Smith and Wesson was next, right? And you know, still and Tech told me about it. They immediately when they was on, they was like, what we gonna do about JB? JB was me. I was JB Rock before I was Rock, right? You know what I'm saying? It was like, and so they already knew that I was, you know what I'm saying?
He was up next.
Right. We all of us knew that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But Ruck was like me and Ruck was running with each other, doing dirt in the street, but we decided to be a group officially while I was locked in that building across the street, over the phone.
Like, yo, we gonna do this. We gonna make this
Right.
happen.
Because I had another partner and he had another partner, but it, you know what I'm saying? It was like, we'd rather do this.
Right.
Like they doing what, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Salute to all of them, right? My partner was a female. She was dope, right?
Right.
My cousin and shit, she was animal, but she was a part of a whole nother group. And she was writing for her whole other group. So her attention was divided in this, that, and so I'm like,
yeah, that would have been crazy though. You had a female partner.
I did.
That just sound like it could have been crazy. That's like me and Kai.
It would have been ill.
We write Kai
We
sometimes.
rhyme. Yeah, right.
It would have been.
Like,
Like, it would have
It's
been.
all about delivery.
It's all about delivery.
But again, like I say, a lot of people would have been or should have been or could have probably been, but they, you know, everybody ain't make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like fucking the bring me back.
We still talking strategy.
The strategy. That's
right.
Louisville and Top Dog was still learning how to rap, so of course they were third. Of course they would be fourth. Me and Ruck were already barbarians.
Why y'all chose Helter Skelter?
That was Ruck idea. It was dope.
Because you know what? That's the Charles Manson shit.
I mean, Charles Manson didn't make up the word.
No, he didn't make up the word, but he made it popular. Though.
I know, but
right.
but you know what he actually what his meaning of Helter Skelter was, right?
Yeah. It was like murder, like wild shit. Like, let's get busy.
No, Helter Skelter actually, like, if you could find it in an encyclopedia or anything, it means utter confusion, right?
Utter confusion.
What Charles Manson feared was Helter Skelter. What he prepared for was Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter was his definition. Helter Skelter was the name he gave to the war.
Right.
The race war.
Right.
Where Darky would win.
Right.
That
was what he was prepared.
When Darky wins, the world will be Helter Skelter because now everything is topsy turvy.
That's crazy.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's
so
crazy.
that was his interpretation. That was what he was saying when he used the term Helter Skelter.
That's what he was.
That was what he meant, and Ruck explained that to me, and I was like a man. Because the name I had for us was trash, and I'm not going to say it. I can't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep going.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But it was trash, right? And he was like, yo, we're changing the name of the group, B. I'm like, what to what? And he tells me, Helter Skelter. What's that? He told me.
He told you the story.
Right. I was like, I'm with that.
Ruck seemed to be an intellectual.
He is. He was.
One thing about
tons of useless information in his brain. Like before Google, Ruck was my Google. I'll be writing some shit and I need to fact check a punchline. I'm calling this nigga, son. And it could be the randomest shit. I called that nigga one night And he would go to bed early. Like Nocturnal was my baby. Right. That title came from me.
Right.
I mean, he was Nocturnal.
You just said you broke day the other day for your birthday.
Right. Like he was Nocturnal at that period, but it was a phase for him.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He was the old man of the group, right? But like the nigga, yeah, that was what was that?
You was talking about when you would call him for fact checking.
Fact 1 a.m. I call this nigga like, yo son. Oh shit, I ain't even realize what time it was. I'm sorry, nigga. You see, like, yeah, but like, it's all good. What's good? I'm like, yo, Boondocks, Stink Meaner. Is it Colonel or General? He like, it's Colonel.
It's Colonel,
one.
right?
No problem.
Right.
He know that's his job. Like, that was it.
I felt like you guys had, and again, I'm talking from a fan standpoint, I felt like you guys had awesome chemistry. Like, this is how it looked. Black Moon came out and it was $1.05. Mm-hmm. I remember being at an open mic with 5 wild the fuck out and was like, fuck Black Moon, like this is what he was saying type shit. Mm-hmm. Smith & Wesson came out and they were PNC, like you felt the connection. Mm-hmm. Then HELTAH SKELTAH dropped and Rock really felt like a tandem. Mm-hmm. Like where Ruck was cerebral, you was aggressive. Mm-hmm. Where Ruck was like political, you were social. Like it just really fit, bro. Mm-hmm. It fit better than, now that you tell me how OGC kind of was, I can see that because OGC never really felt as cohesive as HELTAH SKELTAH. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what we did, which reminds me of, bring it back around, like we were getting them ready. When Smith & Wesson and Black Moon were on shows and shit, OGC and HELTAH SKELTAH would be at the Dog Hilly. That was Top Dog's crib, right? We would be there and just in the trenches, just grinding, like just sharpening our shit. You know what I'm saying? And they got to a point where it was like, okay,
they got it
right. And it was like like Smith & Wesson, Black Moon came out. Their album came out in '93. Their single came out in '92. Album came out in '93. Smith & Wesson album came out in '95. HELTAH SKELTAH album came out in '96. We wasn't trying to wait. You understand what I'm saying? We grooving now, right? So we did it. So okay, check it out. We got this song called Blah. It's like, yo, why don't we run with that Fab Five shit y'all niggas be talking about all the time? Because that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because
that shit was crazy.
It was around. You remember when the Fab Five, we pulled it from the Michigan State.
Yeah, of course. It was around that time.
Right. So, we was the 5 rookies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, why don't we? Niggas was like, why don't y'all? We was like, well, why don't we? And
right.
So we put out. So we had to record a B-side, and the B-side was LaFleur, which was better than the A-side.
Scotia.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a classic, bro.
Nah, that's definitely my favorite joint.
Right. That's a fucking classic, bro. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's a classic. Strang opened up, killed that shit. He was like the Inspector Deck to that shit. Like he opened that shit up and murdered it.
I'll be Inspector Deck and Strang all the time.
Yeah,
he didn't even realize he was my Inspector.
Yeah, that nigga Inspector Deck that shit.
He's gun clapper #1.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a gun clapper.
And that meant something.
Right.
That it does mean something.
Right.
Like even when on Nocturnal with the intro on the album, Strang is the first voice you hear.
Right.
I got a whole phone call from Steele. He's talking about, yo, you sure? I mean, this is Nocturnal. We had In the State, we had Black Moon. We have In the State, you had the Shining. This is Nocturnal. You sure you want the first voice on your album to be the first voice they hear to be somebody other than you? Were? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah, because it created that.
I'm like, he #1, and we a mob, son. Like,
yeah, it really did that though.
Like that's what like I was always about the group, like the. And
LaFleur was on Nocturnal.
Yeah.
Right? It was on Nocturnal.
Yeah, but it wasn't it ended up there. But right. But it was something we like I said, we did it just like that. Yeah, but
that was that shit, and that was at the time when crew shit was everything. That was that Wu-Tang era.
Yeah.
Like, so for y'all to have that on the album, like really solidified, bro, like I'm telling you, man, like that shit, like what y'all did in that moment was very much hip hop, bro. Cause it was like crew shit, you chilling. Cause that's how we were living at the time. That was what socialization was in 95, 96. You smoking weed with your peoples. Niggas that rhyme in the crew is rhyming together. We doing songs. This is before Pro Tools, right? We rhyming off instrumentals, right? Spending all night trying to just figure this shit out. And that's what y'all represented in Nocturnal.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I mean, for Nocturnal, like what Ruck always used to say, he was terrified during Nocturnal because in his mind, I always took rap more serious than he did, right? So when he was like, he never really had a rhyme book. He just had pages. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So when we was doing Nocturnal, he was terrified. He was like, I'm about to fuck this nigga Rob shit up. Like, this nigga Rob was doing this shit his whole life, right? Like, blah, 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 blah. And it was a depression. Meanwhile, I was so eager. Like, it's funny, like, that nervousness that I talk about, which I don't know if I actually felt that for the album drop. Maybe I did, but it's not prevalent in my mind. Like, people often ask about the pressure of living up to, you know, what's the shine in the end of the stage. I'm like, yo, I was dying to go. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, it's my go, nigga.
Yeah, I don't think that's a question.
Nigga, throw the ball.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah, nigga, throw the ball. Goddamn it. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was wild excited. You knew it was coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? The schedule was as fucking clear as day.
Let me ask you this. The bread, the advance priority gave you, the fucking, now you a rapper. How did that change your day to day? Like, how'd your moms feel about you becoming Rockness Monster?
You know, shout out to my brother and my sister, but I'm the favorite.
Yeah, Mom Toots was like, yeah. Mom Toots was like, yeah. Nah, that's my baby, right there. Gary Coleman is my baby. Right.
Nah, cause yo, there was a time when she did not fuck with me.
Right.
Cause you gotta understand the things I told y'all earlier tonight, like as far as all of these good ass grades I was getting and shit, all of these expectations, and to go from that to a nigga who was doing the fuckery I was doing,
Right.
she was disgusted with me, right? So it got to a certain point where it was just like, yo, you know, once all the studio shit started, I'm telling her, that's what I'm doing. She don't want to hear that shit. Like, motherfucker, like, it got
Get
to
a job. They could take a civil service test.
It got to a point where she didn't, you know, like, teenage years, you know, I can't put this nigga on punishment, but lock this nigga out. He can't get in the crib. Yo, I was 19, I ain't have a key to my mom's crib. Like that was how, it's fucking ridiculous, right? But anyway, that was the thing, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, once she saw, no, so me telling her that I was at the studio meant nothing to her. You understand what I'm saying? I just might find me some place to sleep tonight. It is what it is. Like, if it ain't the studio, fine. Shout out to my cousin Champagne, who was, let me speak her name. That was my cousin who was my partner, right? She saved me in that space because she moved to my projects. Like, she was from the other side of Brownsville, but when she moved to Ceflo, it was at that period when me and my moms wasn't good, right? So when my moms was locking me out and shit like that, I would go there, and that
saved you.
Saved a nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was just now watching an interview with KRS-One was talking about how he slept on the train, or he left his mom's crib and all that shit. Like, I never had to endure no shit like that. You understand?
Because you had your cousin.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because your friends, your homeboys, it ain't but so much you could do when they live with their parents too.
Right, you're not coming to sleep at my crib.
Right, like my cousin was a little older, and you know what I'm saying? She was, you know, she had her own crib over there, so you know that was all of the difference.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But then the signing, and now you outside, you rock. She could see you on.
Once
TV,
my mother saw me once she saw LaFleur is Ghost got a video,
she was like,
it was like, nah, it's true. Like, she knew that I could say I could get on here and be like, my mom's just like all these niggas who ain't believe in the God. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody fuck with me now that I'm on, right? But she had every right. She believed, because now she believed me. Now everything I was telling her, cause come on, be like I was, like I was really on some bullshit.
Right. Like you telling your mom, yo, I'm rhyming. You rhyming? What the fuck? You better be rhyming for a job.
And understand, this wasn't with, like nowadays you tell, like a kid who's 19 now tells moms, he rapping, she'll buy him equipment.
Right.
This wasn't that back
Right, that
then.
wasn't-
like
right.
nobody mother was nobody, not just mom,
Right.
not just my mom.
Nobody
Moms wasn't doing that.
Right.
Nigga, you was a spoiled. You had the silver spoon if your moms did that. You was different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, so when you add that on to the fact that I was out here doing dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? Like she really wasn't fucking with me. So, but when she saw that, I was like, oh, okay, nigga ain't lying. And you know, I go hang out with my moms. She got a whole playlist of Rockness monster music.
She play your shit all the time.
Whole playlist. Shit, I'm like, I don't even like that song. I don't care.
Yo, I want you to tell me about how it is to be Rockness Monster now. Like, tell me about, like, what's the paradigm? You still, you doing shows? Like, how often shows are coming?
I mean, I do shows, but it's interesting for me, like, because for the past like 9 years, you know, my daughter's 9 years old, right? So everything changed, you know what I mean? And then P died fucking 8 years ago, right? So, you know, in this space, like I'm way less concerned about the game, forgive me for saying this, but the hip hop, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just more concerned with the love, the family, the money, you know what I mean? Like, the game go through so many changes every day, every so often. The game will show me, or will attempt to show me that the shit I do ain't what they fuck with, right? So, you know, I ain't no bitch ass nigga. I don't sweat nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like, I'm gonna do what I like. Period. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna just do what I like. So, while I'm gonna rap the way I want to rap, I'm gonna also do all of the other things that I want to do too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like one of the dopest things about me is I'm still, like, even at this age, I still have a young spirit. You know, you got a lot of people who have old souls. I mean, like, salute to them. I don't know if that's me. Like, I feel young. Like, my body feels my age, but like, just, you know, my mind, heart, and spirit, like, I feel really young, and it don't feel like it's nowhere near close to the end for me. So I just feel like, you know, all of those other things I wanted to do along the way, all these other ideas I came up with, let's do all those things.
Right.
All of them. Right. While still rapping better than most of the people out here rapping.
Right.
You know, that's my flex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get to brush dirt off my shoulders when I hear somebody rap, and then they hear me rap, and they feel like they want to throw their book away.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
What are some of the other things you want to accomplish?
I mean, like, I got tons of, like I said, acting. Like, I got certain things. It's a lot of things in the beginning stages right now, but like, these things include, like, a video game. Like, I want to create a video game. I have the whole idea. I know, though, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, like TV shows. Like, it's just so many things. Like, I want to, like, I'm in the process right now. Me and my brother Mike Hands, like, he quarterback.
I know Mike Hands.
Yeah.
I'm talking about doing some hip hop and mental health shit.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to get into.
Absolutely.
Like, I mentioned ADHD 19 times in this interview, right?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I promise you, like, in those moments when I was sitting here and we was talking, and my answer took me on a journey, and then I forgot where I was. That's a fucking textbook symptom of ADHD. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and so, and me once I learned about that thing, like, I'm a fucking vigilante on that shit. Yeah, like, I feel like I want everybody to know about this shit, because this, like, it literally has me forgiving people from years ago for shortcomings that I realize now that might have just, because I can recognize it now, I'm like, that could have just been ADHD or something else. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because people have like, what people don't understand, like, people will recognize the fact. I tell them I got a bullet in my arm. People will recognize that immediately.
Right, because it's physical. They can touch it.
Right. They don't, but they can't even see it. They can't touch the bullet.
See it, right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm just telling you it's a bullet in this arm right here. So I can't help you lift that. And you're going to respect it.
Right.
But then if I tell you that I can't do that thing that you asking me to do, that other thing because I got ADHD, because you don't understand that thing, I might have just lost, you know, like our relationship may be damaged or something. Like,
because you don't understand.
Very recently I have a damaged relationship. Like a relationship, I used to love this girl. Like, it's my ex, but we were still friends, right? Just a conversation, one conversation we had, and a debate about just, because some people don't respect or understand it, right? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, you know, she was in a space where she was like, I don't respect no self-diagnosis. I'm like, not even from me? Like, if you know the way I move, you know I don't have one of these regular nigga brains.
Right.
You know I'm not one of these niggas who believe everything they told.
Right.
And this, that, and like.
You know I'm not the sheep.
Yeah, I felt crazy. So I don't even know how to feel about the shit no more. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you refusing who I really am. It's like, but again, like if I tell you that about the bullet, you gonna respect that. I'm telling you that I got a whole nother hand. I only got one brain. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that shit control all of this shit. And if you can't respect you know what I'm saying? Or not even if you can't, if you refuse to respect, like, I don't know how to feel about that.
Nah, yeah, we're gonna do that. We're actually, I'm gonna talk to bro about Mike Hands was at the Porsche fashion show.
Yeah, so like I would love to do a lot more of that. Yeah. Like we've been talking about it, and we
might have to do it here actually.
I was having a conversation with my friend about, and it's like so prevalent in young kids too.
Yeah,
and when it's not recognized, and you know you're given tools when you're given tools when you're young, you can accomplish so much more because you recognize where you're at. But like you said, they just don't.
Right.
And we're dealing with it on a level where I've never seen so much mental health issues in community since after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Coming out of the pandemic, because what happened was a lot of people, like the pandemic really affected people in a real way. And those of us that it didn't affect that way are blind to the fact that it was trauma. Being locked up for 3 months in the crib. Right. You know what I'm saying? The entire scope. And so when I went back in the school system, because I'm a DOE vendor, I teach in the schools. When I went back in the schools after the pandemic, I saw it in my 3rd graders, my 4th graders, my 5th graders. Emotional and behavioral problems across the board. Because life is regimented. It's not just about your job or what you do. It's about when you wake up, you brush your teeth at the same time, you take the train. If you work, you take the train at the same time. You go to school at the same time. So once we lost that regimen, it really tweaked a lot of people's mental health issues. And we got to kind of, as a black community, we really have to come to grips with how to deal with our mental health issues.
Too many of us don't believe they exist.
Right.
Too many people don't even respect the concept of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like nigga, just try harder.
Right.
Nah, nigga, you don't get it. You don't get it. And that's, the bullet in my arm analogy is my best. Like I could be lying to you niggas. I really, it could not be a bullet. But if I tell a nigga that, you gonna respect that. You think I want to tell a nigga that I'm incapable of counting fast?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's another reason I couldn't participate in the drug game.
It's a nigga the addition.
I couldn't count fast. Like I gotta double and triple check this shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you need to be. That's ADHD shit.
Right. Real talk.
That was all undiagnosed. You understand what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, real talk.
So I feel like I'm able to recognize the fact that people look at me as very normal, very hip hop, very what they respect. But Nah, this nigga, whatever it is you think, that's the thing in here. So, yeah.
Here's the last question. 100 years from now, they're gonna talk about hip hop. They're gonna fucking unearth shit. They're gonna find CDs and they're gonna find albums. But historians are gonna talk about the catalog and the timeline of the game. Helter Skeltah is gonna be on that timeline, right? You have in your power, because you are who you are, the opportunity to shape and mold how your brand and persona is visualized. People know who Rock is. You go into a spot, you walk into a place, niggas is like, even if they don't say nothing, they're like, yo, oh, that's Rock. Rock is in the building. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want us as fans, as consumers of hip hop, to know and love you? Like, how do you want that to go?
I don't even know at this point. Like literally days ago, I thought of I'm an off and on blogger, right? I be blogging and shit. I thought about.
What's to say?
No, I mean I be blogging on my own Monster Nation on YouTube.
Monster Nation.
Right.
Okay.
And I do it on my Instagram and shit too. Rockness BCC on Instagram. But like, I was thinking about how I know niggas is gonna go crazy when I die.
Right.
And I don't mean with the sadness, I mean with the rap shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Niggas is going.
They're gonna blow you up. Rock the legend has passed away, like type shit.
Right. So I just kind of like, and this thought I was saying to myself, I'm like, man, I need to make a statement somewhere publicly that my loved ones can refer to, in my, in the event of my demise and this shit. Like, but I want it to be my voice. You understand? Because we all say that. Like, I've heard people say that about the way people dick ride a nigga after he dead, right? You understand what I'm saying? I want it to be my voice, where I say, I mean, you know what? Here's the now. It's no time like the present. You understand what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here.
I love that. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, B. Like, do you niggas like? My birthday was a few days ago. I don't know the day of the week right now, right? My birthday was a few days ago. Ain't no radio station
Was like happy birthday.
happy birthday.
Right.
I bet you they said happy birthday to Puffy somewhere. Our birthday the same day.
Yeah, bro,
right? And not to hate on him. I'm just saying, this is an example of how y'all don't fuck with me now. You understand what I'm saying? So, come on, B. Let's not keep this shit fake. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm gone and y'all talking all that shit, I want somebody to play this sound clip like, fuck out of here.
Right.
Fuck out of here.
But you understand why that happened?
I don't care though.
I know.
I do, but I don't care.
Yeah. Because you're a commodity.
Do, but I don't care. I'm a human.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
We understand that.
Right. And
Steel understands it.
And
Chifu understands
right.
it.
The team understands
But
that.
you know what?
But the machine doesn't understand
Nah,
that.
but you know what though? Yes, the fuck they do. They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're not fucking stupid. You think these niggas know how to program the minds of millions of people and they don't understand that? They don't give a fuck.
Bro, you're one of the most authentic people we had sit at this joint, man. I'm so happy we had this conversation.
Yes,
God, this was dope, right?
It was so dope.
This was fucking dope, man. What's the questions? What they talking about in the world?
I mean, it's so much. There's been a lot going on here. Steel has been in the building for a minute now.
Yeah.
Peace to the God.
Chip Fu is in the building.
Peace to Chip. Chip got some music. I went to the studio with Chip.
Ski is in
That
the
motherfucker got some
building.
music, bro. You doing new music?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
He is in
Look,
the
Ether
building.
Rocks is out right now. Like, I put that album out a year ago. I still got 2 more videos off of it. I put out about 8 videos off of that album.
Taz, what up? Taz is here.
Zito.
So we got a whole team.
Sin,
That's
Cynical's in the building. Oh,
Cynical, shout to Sin.
Talim is here.
Oh,
yeah.
Talim. Yeah, we got the whole family. We got to do something, man.
yeah.
Oh,
We still celebrating. We still celebrating.
exactly. See, he's a Scorpio, so he gonna remember that.
Oh, man.
That's why I was like, you still have to have happy birthday drinks. It's still a month.
Look, let me tell you something. You got a lot of people that be like, I don't even believe in all that zodiac shit, right? Said no Scorpio ever.
Right. No.
Nah, Scorpio's not.
Nah, we know.
There's something
It's
to
real.
it. There's something to it. This was amazing, man. I didn't even get to talk about the. Do you remember when y'all performed at Newport's?
Newport?
SUNY Newport's upstate.
No. I mean, like, nah. Because there
No
was
way.
so many colleges.
Yeah, it was a
You know
lot of
what I'm
colleges.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I remember Morgan State, because that was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't forget the first or the last. I might have forgot the last.
That's so funny that you were on, that you
Yeah,
opened for that.
yo, I'm telling you, Gary Gnu, Double B.
Oh yeah, Steve was talking about
right,
that.
like they remember, like we opened for y'all. That was a big fucking deal for us.
You remember, what's her name? Are you familiar with the brand Jingling Baby?
Anisha, of course I
Right.
am.
Like, I
What
met
you
her
mean?
there.
Of course you did.
That was, yeah.
Shout to Anisha, that's the
What up,
family,
yeah,
yo.
that's fam. What
Yeah,
up?
I'm telling
Like,
you.
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. And perspective is everything, and that's why stories are important, because how you view an event is not how everybody that was in that space viewed the same event. So you discussed how this was your first time really rocking on stage. You was trepidous. You felt the way. You was burnt. You had, right? And then I'm telling
Yo,
you,
my thumb was pink, my nigga.
I'm telling you, we opened for y'all. And it was everything to us to be able to open for y'all. Because I'm from Brooklyn, like it's a 5-man crew. Out of the 5-man crew, me and my man is from Brooklyn and the other 3 dudes is from Jersey. And so it meant a lot to be able to share that space and time with y'all. Right? Because y'all came down to the school, and I'm telling you, rappers came down to Morgan State. Morgan State was lit in the 90s. Like,
I know.
niggas came down.
I know.
But to be there, I love Morgan Day on the field, and to be able to open for y'all meant a great deal for us. And it meant a lot less for y'all. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, like, we love these niggas that's opening for us, but I'm telling you, that's the continuum of the culture. A lot of times we don't understand how we share the culture in that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's dope to be able to build and have that conversation.
You're right.
Years later, because we talking 30 years ago.
Yeah, we talking
Damn near 30 years. 94,
Crownsville
29
album
years
coming
ago.
soon. Taz said Crownsville album coming
Oh yeah,
soon.
Crownsville. Me and my brother Rusty Jukes. Look, Sean Price and Rusty Jukes had an idea to make an album called Crownsville. They didn't get to do that, so I was like,
Yeah, I gotta do that. Yo, that single that y'all put out was crazy.
Which one?
The one y'all just did when y'all was at the Forest Hill Stadium. The cruise shit.
I was assistant stylist.
Right, she was
on that.
styling for
I
that.
was assistant
Look,
stylist.
look. My crew hijacked my song. I love y'all. I'm just fucking with y'all, right? Like I'm just saying, like, but we heard that, like, we got this album damn near done, right? Drew, I heard that song, was like, yo, nigga went crazy and shit. He started,
Yeah, bro.
like, yo, let me get out. I'm like, Drew is like he's like the boot camp whisperer, right? Like, nobody can get everybody to a location on time quite like Drew can, right? So he pulled everybody together. Everybody recording this, but that song is on the Rock and Rusty album. Y'all niggas don't even like.
Let's get it.
This shit done.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna announce it right here, man. Hip Hop Closet fuck with Boot Camp Click very hard, man. Pause.
Absolutely.
Anything that y'all about, we supporting.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? When y'all move, we move, man. We
Listen.
working on some shit.
Listen.
This summer, we want y'all out. I'm
Listen.
telling Kai right now, I'm telling you, Boot Camp Click at the Hip Hop Closet block party in 2024.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's only right to imagine how Hip Hop Closet had me spiffy for my birthday.
No, you was looking great. I
I was
loved
spiffy.
it.
Look, some of the
Perfect.
comments included you was looking like a caramel Twix.
I'm mad we ain't go now, man.
Yeah.
I'm mad we ain't go there. That was on our list of field trips, man.
No, man.
But look, bro, again, it was a pleasure talking with you. This is not the end.
Nah, I appreciate
I'm looking
it.
forward to kind of connecting with all of y'all and kind of solidifying this Brooklyn, because this is what it is, man. Like, we share that. We share the borough, we share the experiences, we share the time and space, and we got to move in the right direction.
I gotta let people know I'm opening a restaurant in Baltimore. It's called Monster Megabytes.
In Baltimore?
Oh.
Yeah, I got
You live out there?
I got family in Baltimore.
Where in Baltimore?
In
Oh.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Baltimore, the city.
I don't know the
When is
shit.
it opening?
When is it opening?
We still.
You gotta let us know,
Because
bro. We come
that'll
down.
be a road trip.
Gotta
That'll be
a
our
road trip.
field
We
trip.
absolutely
Road
support
trip,
that.
field
Right.
trip. We got people down
Real
there.
talk, you gotta let us know. Final thing, I didn't say this earlier, but we still moving, Kai, in terms of the hoodies. I never wore this hoodie before. Like, I don't think I repeated a hoodie the whole year.
Oh,
Like, we
okay.
moving in the right
Really?
direction. So
Okay.
even though Jay won the kick battle,
You're winning the hoodie battle?
I'm winning the hoodie battle, yo. Like, you gotta
Ain't
go.
even got a hoodie on.
He ain't got a hoodie on. That's why he lost.
It's right here, though.
But hold
Oh.
on. Kai, you gotta show them the Brooklyn Zone, though, because they can get this on Hip Hop Closet. You gotta show them. Yeah. I love when Kai pulls up in this shit.
Thank you for coming out. Wait.
love
Ski has
y'all.
one comment.
Who has
before
another comment?
Ski, no question, but as a statement, I used to argue about BCC and say the music industry was lucky that Boot Camp Cook never had a budget.
I agree because the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of motherfuckers that had budgets that was out and more visible that wasn't nice to them.
Now let me say something to you right quick. I just saw this. I was thinking about blogging on this shit, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it here, right? Joe Budden said some of the illest shit on one of his recent episodes. It was whatever they was debating about, irrelevant to what I'm saying right now.
Right.
What he said was, he was like, "Yo, I'm touring." He said, "No, I'm here today, 20 years later, or for one song." Right? He was like, "Now some people may say Joe Budden can't make a hit. He can't make a hit record, right? Whatever." He said, "I'm here to say this," paraphrasing. He's like, "Any nigga in the game who can't make a hit, if you don't have a hit record, it's because the industry did not want you to win. Because they will give you a hit. They will get it for you."
Right.
Now, granted, HELTAH, SKELTAH, Boot Camp Click, we wasn't the type of niggas who was gonna let somebody write for us, right? But if you would have brung, let's say, a Dr. Dre in the studio, like Buckshot and Smith and Wesson sat with Tupac for a week, right? That shit forever changed the way Buckshot record. Ask him. You understand what I'm saying? Like he was impressionable. He was able to learn from blah 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 blah. Maybe you wouldn't have been able to get boot camp writers, somebody to write their own song, but you could have got us a. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's just the game is.
But
the
what
game.
I'm saying, Rock, is even without the game, each of y'all had a defining hit. Fucking Black Moon had how many MCs and who got the props? Smith and Wesson had Soundboy.
Like 3 of them.
They had like 3. Soundboy Burial, right? From The Shining. Soundboy Burial can ring out right now and niggas is gonna go crazy, right? And Nocturnal had La Fleur La Fly. Yo, that's a classic joint. Bro, you play that shit right now and niggas is hitting the dance floor, B. Like niggas is vibing to it. So without the machine, that's what I'm saying, is without the machine,
Right,
each of y'all had hits.
Nah, but what I'm saying is this. If we had a machine that wanted us to win,
Nigga been crazy.
imagine those songs you just mentioned.
Magnified by 10 times because
Understand
Dre
what I'm
is in
saying?
the studio. Because right is right. Like I feel you.
Right.
I understand.
Like the label, even before you insert Dre production or whatever, right? You insert Dre-worthy promotion budgets. You understand what I'm saying? It's different. We all done sang a song that we didn't like last month.
All the time.
That's the programming.
Right.
You understand what I'm
All
saying?
the time.
Like, you ain't like that shit, but eventually...
You start singing the words. And when you singing the words, you be like, I don't even like this fucking song. Why the fuck am I singing the words?
Mad
right?
at yourself.
Right. And we're gonna leave it there.
It's West Baltimore, where the restaurant is going.
Oh, niggas,
Taz
we
said.
got it. We good. Road trip. As soon as my brother get his restaurant open, we coming down.
Road trip for sure.
Yo, we
All
love
right.
y'all. We love y'all supporting us every
Yes,
Tuesday.
absolutely.
This has been a labor of love for us, and we look forward to continuing to grow and develop this. I guess you could call it a podcast. Is it a podcast? I don't even know.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a
We're gonna continue to grow and
Yeah.
develop this thing.
It's
We
our
love y'all.
own thing.
Next Tuesday we got something special. pop off 7 p.m.
Yes.
I want to say this before we go.
Say it here.
I'm the monster. Y'all could have had me on Halloween. You understand what I'm saying?
I know we should have, but I do a thing at my block on Halloween, so we was like,
All right.
yeah, but nah, but we, you know, in God's time.
I'll come to the block too.
Yo, we gonna have you on the
I ain't
block.
scared of nobody.
Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna have you on the block, B.
All right.
Peace and love. We'll
Peace.
see you next Tuesday.
Peace.
Peace.